Question: why do you think people even began to go to the gym in the first place? It's a place that they don't want to go. But the reality is, this place is the staple of the community. But what we're going to share with you is some of the stories that go behind the gym world when it comes down to having an impact on the community, and what role does the gym actually play, and how does a gym finally take what they have to offer to the community and scale into a multi-million-dollar business. And with that being said, we're going to get directly into what does it actually take to become a gym owner and take your business to the next level by looking at this amazing breakdown. And so for those of you who are entrepreneurs and you're in the training business, you're going to love hearing a couple of stories that I dated back to when I first began in the game. Like when I first went into the gym business, I was actually a boxing coach. And I'd worked in like amazing training camps, and I learned a lot about the physical body. But one day I decided to take my boxing into the gym business. And when I thought about it, I thought it would be a good idea, because now I can start talking to people who are actually in a big box environment. And so what I did is took my briefcase in there, and the guys in the gym world, they were excited. I mean, straight out of the gate. And then some of the powers that be were concerned, because boxing wasn't something that was offered in the gym like it is today, back in the turn of the century. Because they just didn't know, you know, the connotation behind boxing is violence, and that's what they put towards it. So I said, look, I want to get the buy-in from the people that are actually here. So, you know, there are people who are being in the gym on a daily basis. You got your guy who's been retired for 5 years. You got your elderlies. You got your people who are coming straight out of college, and they're in high school. There was just a great mixed bag of people. So from top to bottom, the buy-in was all the way. I mean, people wanted to box. They didn't have exposure to it. So what do you think that meant? It meant that you have an opportunity. So let me get into it. What I realized that people wanted is something that they can't have. How many people who are watching, you're more drawn to things that you can't have? And when I saw this, I knew that this was an experience. So I went deep. I mean, I literally would be on the tails of the coach that mentored me during all kinds of events, learning, just picking his brain, and experiences in the boxing world where everything that you see is different. Wrapping of hands, mouthpieces, Vaseline on face, particular ounce gloves. Everything had a particular rule to it. Or you're an outcast. You don't understand this world. So if I'm bringing this entire world into this game of training, then it makes me an outlier. I am the person that's pushing back against what's norm. I'm bringing something totally different. That makes me a disruptor. That's what I was doing. So once I started to document everything that I would do in the training world for my boxing, when I walked into that gym the first time with my briefcase, and the owners were like, okay, you know, but they weren't really sure. Like I said, the buy-in is different. You got people who are 16, you got people who are 86. You don't know how to cross that line, because this is a very prestigious facility. $250 million deal this guy made to make this place happen. So I knew I had to be on my P's and Q's when I had the conversation about them. So if you're ever in a negotiation with someone and you know you have something unique, you have to do your research, and you have to be authentic. Authenticity is the #1 bearer of success. If you're authentic, there's more likelihood that you will have a greater amount of success than someone who tries to put on the Ritz, as we used to call it back in the 80s. So with that being said, they bought in. We got it started. I said, we'll do a 6-week trial. I had what most people in business call, you have a jewel and you're an annuity, which I didn't even know what that was, but someone who's unique, something that you just can't replace. Like you just can't replace a princess cut diamond at Walmart. You have to go to the powers that be to get something of that magnitude. So with that being said, I knew that it was ready for the next level. We pitched our thing to Beachbody. They were all in. They just wanted to have total control of my company. I wasn't having that. This is a true story. So what do you do with it? Now you do exactly what, let's just say some of these nice known big gym entity powers that be. Let's use Gym Launch for example. A company that takes you and your business and they say, hey, here's what we can do. We can show you how to run the operation and grind and embed it in your brain, and what you can do is you can actually use it. Like, we're not gonna be here neck and neck with you. So what they do for the industry is a great service. But when I thought about it, how could I take what they do in business? And when you do something in business, you have to see something and then you got to say, can I make that better? And I said, I tell you what they do is they give you the blueprint to business operations. And they decide, hey, we want to charge, this is worth $40,000. $40,000. People are not in their right mind when you're talking about spending that kind of cash. But you're going to make more than $250,000. So what kind of an exchange is that? Say it out loud. What kind of exchange is this? That means I can give you $5 and you'll give me $25 back. That's a good deal. But you have to do the work. So how could I make something like that better? Do I have the exact same business model? No, because what I want to do is I want to build something that has a community feel. And the only way to do that is to understand what these people want. What do people want? They want to enjoy the experience in the gym. They want to have a takeaway. They don't just want to come and do squats. You might have to do squats, but you don't just want to do squats unless you want the outcome. But what if you could create the hook? When a person wakes up, they're anxious to come, but because they are ready to learn how to box better, how to defend themselves, how to get in better shape. All of those things are a byproduct of boxing. So I created a system of boxing programs and regimens that stand the test of time. So I decided this is exactly what I'll do. I'll provide the content. Not a lot of companies have decided we help you with the business, but we also got a carrot for your clients. We can also feed them something that they actually want to do. My first classes were filled with your females who've never been exposed mostly to even sport, but for those who did have sport, they ate it up. And my oldest client was 86 years old. Female, the next one in line was 81. And the reason why that is because it was something that's functional. Anybody can do it because you can go at the pace because technique is simple. That's what I learned about people. Not only do they want more, but they truly enjoy learning and digesting new things. So here's the reveal. I wanted to provide content. And so that's what we did. So we said, we're going to not only take them to the mall, we're going to take them into the candy store, and we're going to have some Godiva chocolates. Content. And not only that, people don't want to just come for a spell. They actually need a place that they can get in total focus and be committed. And so what did we do after that? So I sat in the office one day with our guy, and Dow is his name, and I just said, you know, I think we can take this thing to the next level. And I think more people we could use in gymnasium, because I was using it in an exercise room. And I said, we can use the gym. And I think if I got bags in here, it would take off even further. We had no bags, remember. Got the bags. the classes were filled, and I'm trying to figure out what is the difference now. If I'm able to give these people an experience, but at the same time, give the gym a consistent stream of revenue. So we did the deal. Let it be known, the gym owners were elated. We were switching the roles. They didn't pay me anymore. I paid them because the classes were doing so well. So it let me know that something that was supposed to last 6 weeks lasted 3 years. And I'll explain. And it was because it was a system. It wasn't just programming. It was a system. And this is where I look at other companies and I say, they give you business operations and they say, go. This is like fine wine. And I didn't create boxing, but what I did create is the system in which an athlete actually trains in order to become an elite world champion. And with those principles, it gave me a different dimension on how to build and create a progressive program over the course of time. So with that being said, my system was born, not boxing program, not system. And a lot of people get it confused. So we're not the bearers of the news to say, well, programs, literally, if you do them right, they'll get you to a goal. And then you have to kind of start that thing over, and that same goal can be met with right adjustments. But a system is created to work when you're not working and solves all problems and answers all issues. And that's one of the main reasons that companies like Apple are a staple in their communities, because we all have the iPhones for the most part. And for those of you who don't, you believe in Samsung. Here's the deal. The bottom line is systems matter, and they are sustainable over the course of time. So this is something that we can make a business model. So I knew then, now it's time to take my journey on to the next level and next phase, and created my own studio. And I had to figure out, will this really work without people bringing the influx of clients? Yes. And with that being said, I had to learn to launch now, because the influx of people aren't coming in. And what do these guys do now? Like the gym launches of the world, what do? They teach you how to motivate and get people in. But one thing that you gotta have is a system to sustain everything. And remember, this is going to be 40K because it's going to get you 5X. Follow the process, get the capital on however you got to do it, but understand the purpose is to not spend 40, but to make over $250,000. You have to reverse engineer why you're doing this. I want to do my thing, and I want to turn it into something real. And I wanted to not only do that, but I started my own, and I began launching. And I used the same process, I used the same system to launch that I did to actually run the class. It's all about prosperity. Here are the things that people wanted. They wanted, in the gym world, I don't know about you. You might want to lose weight, or you might want to get in total shape and get your total swagger back. But over in the gym world, they need to increase their metrics. The numbers, the influx of people coming in and the interest, so that they can impact the community. Now you think about this is a real thing. This is something that we all as owners or entrepreneurs, and I am a trainer, a person who came into the industry to help people live a different life. My focus was human evolution, because I remember I came out of the medical field because I didn't want to put band-aids on issues. I wanted to prevent them. So that's what I did, and fused that with boxing, which is one of the most keen senses of utilizing anatomy and physiology kinematics of human motion, all of those things. Can I bottle this up and I can make this a thing? Can I? Yes. You just have to use the principles of what a business actually will do and what a big business needs. They need clients. And when you understand that how to launching this program, remember, you got to have a purpose. And when you're operating a program such as this that has the actual marketing system in place, the actual programming system in place, the actual content, because you can have content with no method to roll it out. If you're a gym owner and you're like, I can't keep my people, churn is real, how about giving people something that they really love? So as I sat down and I made the next venture, I decided, now, how do I help people? So I knew that I wrote down the programming, got it printed and done, had the programs, had the systems. When I realized that the business has to have that same kind of simple formula so that people will understand, that business owners will be excited. How do you make business owners excited? Here's the thing. If you want to make a business owner excited to start using what you do, make it simplify their life. Make it loaded with a dopamine rush when they see other people excited about launching the box step. The launch goes bananas. And what happens? The increase of the metrics. Crazy. But in order to do that, what you're going to need, which is what most companies don't really offer, I just noticed, because in the advertising world, it's all about here, go do your thing. Here, companies that aid you, it's very, very what we call techie. It's not hands-on. But what I knew was important and what worked for me is because I had the owners of that gym coming to me, flying from Virginia and meeting with me once a month. That was important. So how do I do that? I decided this is what needs to happen. We need in-house coaching for these people who come on board to try to add boxing to their programs, to their gyms, and create a buzz and create excitement, and also take their companies and it helps them scale it. The gym owners typically are people with between 200 to 400 people who have the ability to increase by 200 more. Because see, you want the room for growth of a minimum of 200 people. And when you do that, what happens is you can actually rock your numbers. On average, you're talking an additional $360,000 a year. If you can expand for 200 more people at an average rate of $150. Your membership is all about results. It's all about you building a community. And once you put that thing on rinse and repeat, it's time to scale it, because what you're learning is not only how to operate a gym, but you're running a flourishing business. And this is what people pay $40,000 to have. But the difference is what they get here. And I always tip my cap to all of those individuals who commit to making the experience in the gym next level. That's what I've always done. I don't move forward with anything that feels like it's not right. So out of all of the years that I trained, I never had a bad day at the gym. I always enjoyed going. I never had to wake up too early. It was never too early. It was never too late. I loved every day. That is true story. And how could I sell that? Launch this, increasing your metrics, in-house coaching, scale it. And when I say scale it, that means you can close that briefcase and you can cookie cut it and you can pass that on. Why do you think people pay $40,000? Because they need the internal operations. And the internal operations is not only going to make you successful by building a family around you, a culture around you, it's also going to make sure that you don't have to worry about how to grow your gym or open the second one, because now you have everything in a handbook. Now you have everything in video. And now you have a new brother from another mother in coaching, because the coaching to stay on point is in-house. And when I look at this, I take it and I say, well, if theirs is 40s, what does this cost? This is a game changer. And it's never about how much you're paying. It's what it's going to do for your gym. And it's going to change the whole way that you ever thought about flourishing. It just burst that bubble. And I remember coming into Florida, and the sun, the sky is a different color. The palm trees. When you take a picture here, it doesn't look like when you take a picture up north. It's just different. All of the pixels, they permeate off the screen. See, you don't know what you don't know until you experience it. And when you're experiencing the feeling that you thought you could have, and it ends up being 10 times that, you don't know what that looks like. So if you're at a gym and you got 400 members and you're trying to get to 6 and you're stuck like Chuck, it's because you have not moved into that new sunlight that's closer to the equator, and everything's more beautiful. That's what has been missing. And as I separated from the big box gyms, I connected with them on LinkedIn. And I said, congratulations, it's good to see you. I said, thanks for giving me my first start in the gym world. And that relationship, it doesn't go away, it builds. In the same way that it builds with your clients, it builds with the people that you're doing relationships with. So whoever you're buying or leasing that building from, they're going to love the fact that you're there. That's a fact, because everybody loves boxing. And when you have boxing systematically, and that's what you sell, you just happen to sell the business infrastructure that goes with this as well. Now you have something that you can actually scale. The title of this is up here. What you will call and what you will do to launch this thing is up here. And what it costs is down there. If you ever want to change people's lives, and including yours and your family, the main objective is to understand how to give people what they want and how to give people what they need and make it something that they love. Once you crack open the recipe, and once you really dive into the recipe that we created, you'll understand why I stay so buzzed about it. It's because it's really the real deal. It's as exciting doing the campaigning for this thing as it is to be a part of it. So with that being said, if you have any questions, I thank you for taking the time. A lot of you out there already are ready to move and grow. Growth comes in making sure that you put everything that you're doing on a straight line and simplifying it. And that's kind of what we've done for you. Not kind of. That's what we've done for you. We made it really light. We made it simple. And if you want to know what that price is, make sure you schedule a phone call with us at jabjuice.com, because what I want to do is hear about exactly what it is that you're doing now and what is it that you want it to look like. The call is all about identifying the other superpowers out here who only need a cape. This is your cape. My name is Eric A. Bradley, coach that is, and we teach boxing and help scale businesses. These are the principles in growth in the day of social media and AI. If that aligns with what you're trying to do, make sure you contact us. And we want to hear a little bit more about what is it that's been in your way, and are you ready for the cake? If you're ready for the cake, jabjuice.com. Schedule a call and let's see exactly what you're working with. That's all I got. Peace. And to my guys who we did business with, thanks, and look forward to doing more business and helping you scale your businesses to the next level. Community, family, friends, laughter, and long life. That's how we're doing this. It's time to reopen and relaunch your journey, your focus in life. Eric Bradley signing out. Peace. Jabjuice.com. Game changer.